Hello beautiful people. Today I'm going to be showing you how I like to do my makeup for blogger, content creator photo shoots that I do around the city. Unfortunately, my audio did not come through because the mic that you see pinned on my chest was not actually working. So I was able to salvage some of the pieces where I wasn't talking, and I'm going to be walking you through that. So the first step is I normally moisturize with the YSL Moisturizer and then go in with my brow routine. I'm not going to give you the full details of what I'm doing because I actually learned this technique from another super talented YouTuber, Instagrammer, makeup artist, Vanessa Gimia. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but I'll actually just link her eyebrow tutorial in the description box because it is what I follow to basically a T, and it has made all the difference. She's a genius. And so you guys should definitely check out that eyebrow routine. After that, I like to set my base for eyeshadow. I'm using the Louise Academy base in the shade Rumour, and I pretty much sometimes mix that with any leftover concealer I've used for my brows. For blogger photo shoots, my goal is to have eyeshadow that can go with as many different outfits as possible because I typically shoot multiple outfits in one day or in one sitting. So I start off, or I normally go for any gold eyeshadow or kind of like amber eyeshadow, like the one that I'm going to be doing today. So I start off by just putting kind of like a transition shade in my crease, and then I decided after this to go in with something that was a little bit more red, that had a little bit more of a red base. And I chose this shade from the ColourPop palette, but there are tons of palettes that have these shades because I know this palette specifically is discontinued, but a shade that's like kind of reddish orange brown. And then the last thing I used was from this Colored Raine Safari Raine palette, which is also discontinued, but hopefully they bring it back. But it's the shade Tigress. Another really good palette to do this look with is the Mented Cosmetics eyeshadow palette, their nighttime eyeshadow palette, and so you should definitely check that out. But this eye look is pretty simple and easy to replicate with many eye palettes. Then I prep my base going in with the Milk Hydrogrip primer, and I also like to use the tinted hue sticks to color correct under my eye and any dark spots or acne marks, hyperpigmentation, and then I go in and set my base with the Rare Beauty blush. I've been loving this blush lately, and I love the subtle blush that it gives my skin as opposed to a powder on top of it, so definitely a keeper. Next, I go in and I highlight under my skin, not under my skin, wow, under my foundation, and I use this iconic London highlighter. And I really love using this highlighter because it also just kind of gives my skin a glow from within look. Next up is foundation, and for foundation, I pretty much, for photo shoots, stick to two different options, Lancome Teint Idole or the Uoma Beauty foundation. I've really been loving the Uoma Beauty foundation, however, and that's what I'm putting on here. As you can see, the match is pretty good. I wear the shade Brown Sugar T4N, and the finish is impeccable. It's got a soft matte finish. And I think honestly it's better than the NARS Soft Matte Foundation. So if you haven't checked out this foundation already, check it out. But also look at the glow that the highlight was giving me. Love it. My concealer routine is pretty much like, you know, creamy but full coverage. So that's why I go for Born This Way concealer. And then I add a pop of highlight on the inner corner also with the McGrath Concealer. For contour, I like to use, and I have always pretty much used, the Makeup Revolution foundation stick as a contour. This is pretty much my go-to contour just because of how deep it is and also how soft this stick is because it is a foundation stick originally and not a contour stick. So I'm going in with all of my usual locations to highlight and to contour before blending that out. blended out my concealer and contour, I go in and I bake with the Beauty Bakerie flour powder. I think I use the shade Banana, and it has held me down for a very long time. It's a very lightweight setting powder, so that's what I like to use under my eyes and over the areas that I've highlighted, but I don't go in with too much. No need to do excessive baking. To set the rest of my face, I use the Fenty pressed powder foundation, and it's got really full coverage, and this is actually what I pack with me to my shoots to touch up my makeup. And I love the fact that it's like a foundation, so it can be built up to a more full coverage look, but it also just can be used to set my makeup. I'm putting on my Lilly lashes. Lilly lashes is pretty much what I use for my photo shoots, and I just change it depending on how full glam I want. But here I'm using Miami, which is my all-time favorite style, and that's what I use most of the time. You probably have seen me with these on. Chances are if I have lashes on, it's Miami style from Lilly Lashes. I finish it off by popping on an inner corner highlight, and this you can use pretty much any shade that probably looks too ashy to look on your lid, but good enough to use on an inner corner. And then under eyes, if it's during the daytime, which all of my photo shoots are, I'll use a brown liner just to give a little bit of a pop of color. Now this is the main thing that really has my makeup lasting long all day, and that's the Nye Final Seal setting spray, and I pat that in with my damp beauty blender and finish off the look with the Buxom Cosmetics Full Plumping Lip Cream in the shade White Russian. This is my go-to shade, and I also pack this with me for touch-ups, especially now that we're wearing masks more often. We have reached pretty much the end of this video, and you're about to see me talking for a very long time, and that's pretty much just because that's the only footage that I have of me showing the final look with my hair done and my makeup done and all of that. So I'm gonna keep this part of the footage in just because, yeah, see the final look, but I'm also gonna end the video here. Thank you so much for watching. Details on this look will be in the description box. Let me know if you want more tutorials or more tutorials like this or specific eye looks, but thank you guys so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you for the next video the next time, and hopefully I'll be back with working audio.